The billionaire CEO came home early, and froze at what the janitor was hiding in her kitchen. Lucas Harrington wasn't supposed to be home. Not for another 4 days. The CEO of Harrington Tech, one of the most powerful, enigmatic figures in Silicon Valley, was known for his relentless work ethic, global speaking tours, and disdain for anything resembling downtime. But that afternoon, somewhere over the Atlantic, Lucas had shut his laptop mid-flight, stared out the window, and made a snap decision. He missed home, not the sprawling smart mansion in Napa Valley with its glass walls and heated floors, but the silence, the scent of pine, and the idea, just the idea, of standing still for a moment. The private car pulled up to the sleek estate, nestled between vineyards and mountains. The sun was low, washing the valley in amber. His staff didn't know he was back. He liked it that way. Lucas stepped inside, duffel bag slung over one shoulder, shoes quiet against the polished floors. That's when he heard it. A laugh. Not loud, not raucous, just a soft, warm chuckle that didn't belong. He moved carefully through the hall, toward the kitchen, and froze in the doorway. The janitor's kitchen. There, standing barefoot on the tiled floor, was Rita, the overnight janitor from the San Francisco office. She was wearing one of his aprons. Her sleeves were rolled up, her gray-streaked hair tied into a bun. A little boy, maybe 5, maybe 6, sat cross-legged on the counter, happily licking a wooden spoon covered in chocolate. Rita didn't see Lucas at first. She was busy humming to herself as she stirred something in a bowl. The kitchen looked like it had been transformed into a small bakery, flour-dusted counters, cooling racks filled with cookies, and a faint smell of cinnamon hanging in the air. Lucas finally cleared his throat. Rita jumped, turning toward him, eyes wide in shock. The boy froze, spoon halfway to his mouth. "Mr. Harrington," she blurted, wiping her hands on the apron. It's not what it looks like." Lucas blinked, genuinely stunned. "It looks like you're baking. In my house." Her shoulders sagged. "Yes, I am." There was a long pause before he asked, quietly, why the explanation. Rita sat down at the kitchen table, avoiding his eyes. The boy, Lenny, sat beside her, clutching a cookie like it was his whole world. "My shift ends at 4 a.m. I take the first bus out of the city to avoid traffic. It gets me to Napa at 6, but daycare doesn't open until 7. I can't leave Lenny alone at the apartment, not safe." Lucas remained standing, silent. "I was waiting at the bus stop last month, completely exhausted. I passed out on the bench. Your housekeeper found me and Lenny there, shivering." He frowned. "So you've been coming here only once or twice a week? Just until daycare opens. Anna said it was okay, that you'd never notice. I clean up everything after. I bake to keep Lenny entertained and out of trouble." Lucas looked around. Not a single thing was out of place, except the warmth, the smell, the laughter. This home hadn't felt alive in years. He looked at Lenny. The boy was staring up at him, wide-eyed. "Do you always bake chocolate chip?" Lucas asked. The boy lit up. "No, today we made apple cinnamon. Mama says cinnamon smells like hope." Lucas smiled before he realized it. The truth behind the apron. They sat in the kitchen for another hour. Rita reluctantly opened up. She didn't want anything. She wasn't after sympathy. She was simply trying to protect her son, and had taken a chance, just one, to keep him safe and warm. Lucas, for his part, listened. Not as a CEO, not as a billionaire, but as a man who had once been a boy just like Lenny, quiet, curious, left behind too often in an empty house. "My mother worked 3 jobs, he said, almost absently. She used to hide meals for me in the oven because we couldn't afford a babysitter. That smell, cinnamon, it reminds me of her." Rita's eyes softened. That night, Lucas didn't call security. He didn't scold, or threaten, or dismiss her. He cooked dinner. A real one. Not delivered, not catered. Just spaghetti and garlic bread and a salad he kind of winged. Rita and Lenny stayed. They ate together. And when it got late, Lucas walked them to the gate himself and handed her an envelope without a word. Inside were keys. And a note. No more hiding. What the janitor was hiding. Over the next few weeks, the house changed. There were toys in the den. There were cartoons playing on weekend mornings. There were cookies, so many cookies, and the sound of 2 people laughing in the kitchen nearly every afternoon. Lucas insisted they move into the guest house on the property. He arranged for Rita to get help with housing, benefits, and her green card renewal. He promoted her, not out of pity, but because she had one of the strongest work ethics he'd ever seen. He got his own room. And a telescope. And a bedtime story, sometimes read by a man who once thought kindness was a luxury he couldn't afford. What had Rita been hiding? Not a crime, not some secret plot, just the truth, that sometimes, survival means bending the rules. That motherhood is a quiet kind of heroism. That cinnamon can smell like hope when you have none left. And Lucas Harrington, once a man with more money than meaning, learned something in that quiet kitchen.